Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan set that'll have character bios and plot synopsis. Every time I see this DC logo, I am saddened by the fact that it is no longer their logo. That DC Bullet was something. So, we are concluding Cosmic Odyssey, 4 issue limited series from 1988. After this, we will resume our JLA coverage. Written by Jim Starlin, penciled by Mike Mignola, inked by Garzon, and the colors by Steve Oliff. Great cover here. We've got this being in the back. We got Dr. Fate. We got Darkseid, Orion, the Demon, and Highfather. So we got four Kirby characters and Dr. Fate. So, book 4, Death. I've also covered Jim Starlin's Batman run. I do have a playlist if you like to check it out. So, we left off and in this countdown here. So, pretty easy panel. And so here comes Batman, of course. Once with 9 seconds left, we got Batman here doing Batman things. And so if you remember here, we got this dead apocalyptian, is that what you'd call it? And a dead human here. Prepare yourself, comrade. We're about to become one with the infinite. A small price to pay to bring the glory of anti-life to this dismal plane. And of course, 1-0, and then nothing happens. So, I love this here. What happened? Um, and the two deads in here. We got Batman and oh my goodness gracious, I forgot his name. Forager. Here, and you can see here they're about to push this thing here. Love the lettering from John Workman Jr., one of my favorite letterers. This Mignola art is just beautiful here. You can see here this lands on top of the guy. And Batman and Forager jump to the dead cop, but he's pretty strong here. And so this is all in first person narration from Batman here. And Jim Starlin writes in a lot of first person. That's kind of his thing. He doesn't always do it, but he mostly does first person narration. So, and his Batman's run is almost all first person. Um, so again, he's swatted here because he thinks he should be no problem because he's human. But of course, Batman says, he swats us out of the air as if we were no more than bothersome insects. I let Bester have everything I've got. Bester was the guy's last name. He shrugs off the blow without even blinking an eye. You see Forager kind of behind him. The next thing I know, I've stepped in the way of an express train. I tumble into a world of pain. Fortunately, I've got backup. And so Forager decapitates the guy. Having seen how easily Bester handled me, Forager doesn't pull any punches dealing with the dead cop. And so here, it's all over by the time my head clears, and Forager says, a robot figures the way it tossed us around. And Forager continues, well, it appears we've managed to save your world, Batman. You do good work, Forager, but our job's not done yet. But our job's not yet done here. Best we disassemble this device, no telling who might. And suddenly he hears this whomp, and Batman's like, what? And of course, here is the Apocalyptian. Here, great panel here, just beautiful. Look how big he looks. And Batman says, I know. I should have realized that the anti-life entity would reinforce its host body so that nothing short of a cruise missile could take it out. So sue me. Dealing with superpowered aliens is not my usual meter. I go for the dark size aspect gizmo. I can't imagine Batman calling it a gizmo, but you see here he grabs him. Unfortunately, the brute is as nimble as a ballet dancer. He's all over me before I can get a bead. The world caves in on me. You see him here flinging Batman here. Through a crimson haze, I feel the beast rip the weapon from my grasp. His hand closes, and the Earth's last hope is reduced to scrap. All I can do is crawl away and try to clear my addled wits. But even this is denied to me. The poor guy breaks Batman's legs. My tibia and fibula fracture under the brutal impact. And Batman holding his leg. Somehow I retain my fragile grip on consciousness, but it does me little good. I'm like a babe in the giant's hands, helpless. His hand tightens around my throat ever so slowly. He takes his time finishing me, wanting to savor my end. Great vertical panel there. And so we go up here. There is ceremony in his death. The monster dispatches me with a sense of reverence. He's freeing me from this veil of tears, sending me over to the other side, dispatching me to the realm of anti-life. And so, look ye demon, the anti-life entity senses our intentions. It knows we've come to make we've come to make it dark side slaves. It will resist, but we have the power. This day is ours. So we have dark side and the demon here. And of course, here's this anti-life here. Let the battle begin. And so Darkseid here says the Dark Lord flips the switch and the ether is filled with, and we'll get to that in a minute. Just love Mignola's compositions. For Etrigan's reality becomes a black void as he is transformed into a conduit of to well of primal mystic forces. Darkseid laughs as he feels this might mingle with his own black strength. Just how awesome we got the demon like all in shock, and Darkseid just has a big friggin' smile here. The power flashes out like a thing consumed with hunger. It ensnares, binds, and devours that which is anti-life. The apocalyptian ruler roars out his pleasure as he senses the ebon horror become one with himself. But Darkseid's nerve-grating screech turns to a wall of frustration as the anti-life exerts but a fraction of its might and regains its freedom. A miscalculation, a fatal miscalculation. So, we see here that Darkseid's plan obviously did not work. So Darkseid thinks here. Love the lettering from John Workman. I really enjoy this series because it's got Jim Starlin writing, which I enjoy immensely. Mignola's pencils, which I enjoy immensely. And then this wonderful lettering by John Workman Jr. I have two versions of the story. I have the trade and I have the original issues. So this terror is far more powerful than even I dared dream. Ultimate death waits only a microsecond away. I must act quickly or all is lost. And so we just got more of his thoughts here. And you can see here kind of he's pressing this button here and this button here. And Darkseid's like, I've done it again. From here, I can permanently seal off the anti-life's entity from my realm, using the monster's own stolen energies, and still have power enough left to bring my reality to its knees. So Darkseid, of course, is all about power. All those years of scheming and plotting will finally gain me the universe. Now nothing can stop me. Nothing. Wait, I'm picking up a strange reading, he thinks. And then out loud he says, What? By the stars, it's one of the anti-life's entity's aspects as it's curling toward them. Have to set up a defense screen. Must. And then no time as both of them are taken out. And Darkseid says, What happened? That's right. That's right. There was an overload on the harness circuitry. Where are we? Damnation. So it looks like the demon's not even speaking. It's all, we're just getting Darkseid's perspective. So now we go to New Genesis here. And where's everybody gone? And that must have been Superman asking that. And Lightray says, Hi, Father, Darkseid, and that fellow Jason Blood were supposed to stay here to man the command center. What could have become of them? And Superman says, Think Darkseid pulled something while we were gone? And John Jones says, I do not like this. And Starfire says, I know what you mean. It feels wrong. And Superman asks, Where does Green Lantern thinks he's going? And the Manhunter says, John Stewart miscalculated the anti-life's aspect's powers on Zanshi. Because of that, the star system was destroyed. I believe Stewart is having a hard time dealing with that. Great, on the eyes, just black there. And poor Green Lantern John Stewart, I screwed up and a world died. Because of me, millions of people perished. All my fault. I let my ego override my better judgment. I thought I could handle it all myself. Yeah, I handled it all right. I felt all those poor devils barbecue. I heard their death cries through my ring, shared their fear and agony. Even with my power, there was nothing I could do to make up for that one damn blunder. And here, this desperation, poor guy. All my fault. I don't think I can live with this on my conscience. And so we're back on Earth. And we got Batman here. The universe is a thing of pain and darkness. Cartilage in my neck is about to go. And then deliverance as Forager hits the whatever we want to call him, and or at least a reprieve, and he tosses Batman. Even as I hit the floor, I realize this is only a temporary stay of execution. Forager's hurling himself at the brute. He's no match for that terror. Even from where I lie, I can hear Forager's ribs go. I guess the aspect finally decided we're no longer any threat to his plan. He's busted us up enough. And so you can see here, he's walking away. He's got more important things to do than toy with us. There's this doomsday device that needs repairing. So there's a star system to obliterate. Anti-life beckons. It will not be denied, he says, but Batman screams no. And you can see Batman getting up. There has to be some way to stop this. Think, man, think. But one look into the eyes of the inhuman brute tells me that salvation is a pipe dream, but I still have to try. Batman's so cool. What other choice have I? Anti-life is on its way. So we're now back in the anti-life realm here. All circuits burnt out, nothing functioning, says Darkseid. And so the demon asks, what transpires here? 'Tis death that doth draw near. And Darkseid says, it just cannot end like this. And you can see the thing is coming. I was so close, so close. Suddenly, they're ensnared in this kind of light here coming toward them. And Darkseid says, what? Of course, we sort of think we know who it is. By the dark power, some force wicks us out of the death grasp, says Darkseid. But who? Wait, look, you demon, at yonder star. 'Tis not a star, too small by far. You're right, Hellspawn. It's High Father, Orion, and another whom I know as Dr. Fate, the Mystic. And so this was the person that Batman was referring for. A friend of Batman who asked me to keep an eye on you, villain. Thank the heavens that I honored that request. For I'm the only hope you have left. So, awesome. Awesome drawing here. Fortunately, each of us is linked with a different elemental source of near infinite power. Only by pulling these resources together can we hope to save the day. I apologize for the pain this move will cause you. And you can see here, um, it is done. The sink of cosmic power is formed. Starlin and Cosmics. So here we have an image similar to the cover here. I control this union being a creature of intellectual magics. Highfather adds to the pentagram with his connection to the source, as does Orion with his connection to the same. Etrigan augments our might by tapping into a primal mystical forces beyond my calling. And lastly, there is Darkseid, an acolyte of anti-life itself, enabling us to turn some of our nemesis' own might against it. But will even this astral gathering of mighty powers be enough to ward off the anti-life? How long can even we, with near infinite might, stand against the truly infinite? And so here we can see big panels here, just kind of showing the scope of things here on a double patch, a double splash page here, long enough to prevail. And so Dr. Fate continues, get thee back to the dark recesses of your unreality, monster. Let the light prevail, he says here. And so you can see them hitting the monster here. And so we got some more narration here, and then Dr. Fate continues here. 'Tis an ancient cliche that discretion is the better part of valor, but in this case the truism rings sound. A parallel dimension and escape await us, my comrades. So it looks like they are going to make a run for it. But this is at best a temporary refuge. The entity's mighty will eventually gain access to this realm, and forces are at work back in our own reality that may yet gain him victory. And so Dr. Fate continues here. I can do nothing about that, but I can halt Anti-Life's advance along this avenue. A mystic firebreak must be created. I have the power to do just that, but do I have the right? And then he goes, a foolish question, Fate. You really have no choice in the matter. Anti-Life's ever-widening influence must be checked. To accomplish that, this dimension must be destroyed. So, you see here, our reality dies. Very easy panel, just a couple lines and just made it big. But man, I love Mignola's how he draws. I truly do. I truly do. What the devil's this? I think he meant what the devil is this? But you're Superman and I forgot his name already, and I already had said it. Light Ray, I think so. I think it's the answers to where everybody went. Dr. Fate, what's going on here? Asked the Martian Manhunter. And so Dr. Fate explains to everyone, the threat of the anti-life entity is forever ended. We faced the nightmare and stranded it within its own realm. And the Manhunter asks, how? And Fate explains, the bridging dimension between our reality and its has been eradicated. May the gods forgive me. And of course, we got a pissed off Darkseid. Damn you, Fate. You used me to accomplish your clever little scheme. You made a puppet of me. And Fate says, as you have done to many others. You'll pay for this indignity, says Darkseid. And all of a sudden you hear, not today, he won't. And, I love this. He just stands, not unless you're willing to take us all on to do it. had said Superman here. But I just love it. I know he's wearing a mask, but even underneath the mask, you can just see like I'm not scared of you, Darkseid. So, and you can see Darkseid. He wants to use the Omega beams, but he says, "My apologies. I was out of line. That is no way for a monarch to act toward his allies." And so, Lightray says, "Then it looks like everything worked out just fine. The good guys have won the day," says Starfire, and um, Highfather says, "Have they?" And um, the Manhunter says, "What do you mean?" And so Highfather says, "We still don't know if Batman and Forager have stopped Earth's aspect. If it succeeds in destroying your star system, the Milky Way is doomed. Anti-life entity or no anti-life entity." And then Lightray says, "But can that aspect still survive, cut off from its masters?" And Highfather says, "I sense it can, and that it will finish its chosen course in the name of vengeance, if nothing else." And then Starfire says, "Then let's head back to Earth and give Batman a hand." And oh my goodness, I am so sorry. So many characters. Manhunter's like, "But where on Earth?" "It's a big planet, Starfire." And Highfather says, "I fear all we can do is wait for Batman and Forager to call in, or to hear that the Milky Way galaxy has been destroyed." So, again, now we have a countdown here, and Batman's just crawling toward him. "It takes every ounce of strength I've got to keep going. I pay a king's ransom in pain for every inch across the floor I gain. Not even sure what I'll do once I reach the behemoth. We'll think of something. Have to." And he just kicks Batman. Just thrash. That's just awesome. And so Batman's there. "Why do you persist in these futile efforts, mortal? Lie back and savor your last moments. Make it easy on yourself. We are at the edge of epiphany. An unbelievable glory is about to caress your existence. There'll be no more pain, no strife. There will only be the eternal calm of anti-life." Oh, this just looks so gross. And there's nothing you can do to halt its coming. But now we get close to Forager. Something's about to happen. And so Forager gets up here. "No way" is a term I learned long ago, had no meaning. As long as there's life and hope, there's a way. And so Forager picks up that disc again, and the guy notices him. He's about to, and you can see he aims it down toward his legs here as he's got his arms going to smash. The Forager jumps in between and catches it on the other side. And this thing is just furious here. Great lettering or sound effects by Workman. And he kind of just hits Forager. "Forager, forget the alien, the doomsday device, the bomb." He goes, "The bomb?" And so he's going toward it, and Forager, yeah, I thought it was Batman. Forager catches it and then throws him. He's hurling toward it. He's like, "No, no, 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 no." Two, and then this guy's like, "No," and he hits it here. I love this. "No," as he screams it, and boom. And Batman survives, of course, because he was far away. "Takes me a moment or two to realize that the world hasn't ended. Forager beat the clock. He saved Earth, but at what cost?" And Batman calls out to him, but no answers. "Forager, please say something, anything." Only a grim silence answers me. And I love this. Oh, Lord. Oh, man, Mignola is so good. And so here's that dead alien. And so Batman to New Genesis. Threat to Earth neutralized. Could use some help with the cleanup. Bring another aspect factor, will you? I've got someone who needs to be put out of his misery. So Superman and I are on the way. And Superman's like, now we can relax. So they get a boom tube here. We'll be back a moment or so. Um, and so they ask, where are you heading off to, John? And he goes, to locate Green Lantern. He didn't look so good the last time I saw him. So here he's going to he looks at this gun, which is yellow, and there's a weakness to the Green Lanterns, which is yellow. And he uses his ring to open the thing and grab the gun. And then he takes off his ring. And he says, Ring, I want you to travel 20 light years from here and wait for me to call you back. If I don't do that within the hour, present yourself to Hal Jordan back on Earth. He'll know what to do with you. Now go. So, if the ring stays, it's going to protect them. So, the ring goes. And he goes, 20 light years. That ought to be far enough. Damn ring is programmed to protect its wearer from all physical harm. But 20 light years distance should keep it from interfering. One pull of this trigger and it's all over. No more memories. And you can see him cry. He says, sorry, Cat, but all those people died because of me. Because of me. I just can't live with that. He's just screaming, poor guy. And he's about to commit suicide, but behind the curtain, he hasn't shot. He just not everybody wants to die. I mean, some people, but and he puts the gun down, and Manhunter's like, well, and are you not going to kill yourself? Sorry, are you going to kill yourself or not? And Green Lantern's like, huh? And he says to him, you might as well. It's painfully apparent that you're not suited for this line of work. This profession is tough and unforgiving, calling, demanding strength and character. Our kinds are crucial upon to make crucial decisions daily and act upon them. We also have to be able to live with the consequences of our actions and learn from our mistakes. Very true. You, John Stewart, are obviously not strong enough to handle such responsibility. You are flawed. So do everyone a favor and finish with this grisly act of self-destruction. I'm sure Hal Jordan will be able to find a new and more suitable caretaker for your power ring. And they look at each other. And he sets it down. He calls the ring back on his finger. He gets up. And he's like, screw you, Jones. Sorry. And he storms off, and Martian Manhunter just smiles because he knows what he did. That's awesome. So we got another boom tube here. So after the boom tube here, we got Highfather going, by the stars, oh no, who? And so, of course, Highfather says, it's Forager, isn't it? And Superman says, I'm afraid so. And Green Lantern says, Superman, what happened? And Superman says, I better let Batman fill you in. He was there. And so, there's not much to tell, says Batman. Forager gave his life saving Earth, saving the entire universe. And Orion says, well, how do you like that? Who would have thought that the bug had it in him? And you can just see Batman's not about to take that. Just hits him. Her fat. And Superman is even like, holy shit. So, his name was Forager. And seeing Superman holding back Batman is just amazing. And Highfather just looks down. And Orion walks away. And Superman says, it's all over, Batman. Time to head home. Maybe we can get Green Lantern to do something about your broken leg before we go. Sure, whatever you say, says Batman. And Larry says, hey, where's Darkseid? Gone. And so are Darkseid's evil toys with the anti-life aspects imprisoned within them. Damnation, he's always one step ahead of the rest of us. And so we're in Apocalypse now. You can see here, I had it all, says Darkseid. Conquest of the entire universe was within my grasp, but then it slipped away. I reached beyond my abilities and nearly lost everything. But fortunately, I am quick to learn from my mistakes. That is why Darkseid never leaves the game empty handed. Behold, Assad, a small piece of pure antilife, and he laughs. So, here's Highfather. Earth's heroes have returned home, Orion, and I've arranged for Forager's remains to be returned to the Insect Empire. I'd like you to accompany the body. And Orion says, why? And Highfather says, the trip might teach you something. And Orion says, such as? And Highfather looks at him and says, tolerance. And then he just stares at him. And he says, as you wish, Highfather. So that concludes the Cosmic Odyssey series by Jim Starlin and Mike Mignola with Garzon and John Workman Jr. here. So, it's a good story. Jim Starlin excels at this. And so I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here. This is from a collectible poster. And that awesome. What a great. And then, of course, this was, I believe, the first trade paperback. From 1992, the first trade came through. And you can see now that in 1992, Mignola's art was more to what we're used to seeing now. So that is very cool. All right, well, that concludes the limited series. And like I said, I'll be back with just regular good old JLA. So like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.